Eliminator RC presents RCTV, your radio-controlled authority. Brought to you in part by RC Pit Stop, bringing the best of RC to BC since 1989. And John's Hobbies, Toronto's local hobby store. With your host, Nick Rack.
Good morning, Canada, and welcome to RCTV. On this week's episode of RCTV, a real rock crawler from BC takes my cameraman on a wild ride. Also, we're going to be seeing how to set up an RTR to make sure that it truly is ready to run. But first, Canada's largest RC airshow, Flying Dutchmen, Guelph, Ontario. Check this out. Jerry, my buddy, how you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Where are we today, first of all?
Well, we're at the KW Flying Dutchman annual scale rally. This is the 41st one we've had.
Give me a little bit of history about the club here.
Originally, we decided we wanted to have some sort of event that would involve the public. This was back 40 years ago. The club got together and thought, let's have an air show of some sort. So the decision was made to run this air show, but only have scale-type airplanes. Okay, so they got a bunch of guys together, invited them down, and started a modest little, show one weekend, and it turned out to be rather interesting. It's kind of grown to about, on the average 150 to 200 pilots, and we could have sometimes in excess of 300-400 airplanes here.
Okay, we're here today with Andy and Garrett Smith. Nice to meet you guys. Now you're his father and son team. Garrett, how long have you been flying?
3 years.
3 years. Is it easy to fly, to get into flying?
Fairly easy. What's harder is the taking off, landing, and actually keeping it up.
This type of plane, what is this one? It looks like a Zero, but I know it's not.
It's a Kawasaki Tony.
I think getting into model airplanes is great for learning how to be a hands-on kind of person, and it's good life skills. And he helped build this plane. We've built another one previous to this, a Piper Cub. It's not hard to get into. There's lots of planes now that come all pre-built that are very easy to get going in. You don't have to have a big fancy workshop, and you can get in for a minimal investment. Yeah, and find a local club. Lots of good guys out there.
Now, your position here is the actual events coordinator.
That's correct.
What type of stuff will we see at a show like this today?
Well, we usually start with the World War I aircraft, and we go to the World War II, and then we try to get into something a little bit different after that, a special interest type group. We'll throw some jets in there. The turbines seem to be a big thing nowadays to look at. A few helicopters if you have them. Electrics are another big thing that's been coming, around the flying clubs the last couple of years. And of course, the weird stuff.
Mike, we haven't seen you since the Burt Boomerang.
Well, it's been a few years I haven't built much new, and so we've been staying around this area and just flying what we've got.
And this is not new either.
No, this plane, or which, is probably somewhere around 20 years old. It was built by an older gentleman, Ralph Politsky, and before he passed away, he gave it to a friend of mine. And when a friend of mine dropped out of the hobby, he sold it to me because I pretty well flew it all the time anyway.
That is great. It just hovers.
Oh yeah,
it looks like a winch.
In the wind, it stays wherever you put it, and it flies pretty much on full throttle to keep it in the air. A bit of airflow, and it weighs a ton, so.
Yeah, and the kids love it.
Oh yeah,
That's what this is all for,
that's when you usually see after the show, you see 200 beautiful airplanes here, and this is what they have in the local paper, is a picture of the witch. So I enjoy flying, and the kids just totally love it.
We have several vendors here which will supply you with food, anything you want there. We have lots of vendors also if you want to buy the products that the guys are flying here.
Take care, folks. We'll be right back in a second.
Now, there's two common types of hobby. A push lock, which you push on the go foot and twist the lock.